defenders, I think, it's like.
Are we live, people? Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone is moving positively throughout the week towards their goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations and ambitions. You can't do any of that without your health. So as usual, wishing you and your loved ones continued health in all aspects of the word. Appreciate you lot for tuning back in. Please do me a favor. Make sure you're voting in the pin message and make sure you're hitting the like button. And also set your reminders, people. Tomorrow, unfortunately, we're watching Spurs against Chelsea in terms of watch along business. It's pinned to the live chat. Make sure you're there. At 4:30 today for my Football Manager heads, head over back up to Twitch and we're going to play again. Shout out to everybody who's been on my, supporting the Twitch journey, and everyone who's been supporting the Twitch, and everyone who was there and everyone that was everybody that was here earlier today, man. It's a pleasure to be here with you lot. Now, we're back where YouTube gang is concerned. Obviously, last night we all saw a total fee of, when you consider wages, signing on fee, agents and whatnot, it could cost 150 million to sign Vlahovic. Now, on one hand, it doesn't surprise me because if we knew the true cost of transfers, we'd look at things differently. Varane isn't a free transfer or whatever he signed. Ronaldo's is more expensive than his reported fee. When you factor in a lot of things, the true costs of a lot of signings are not just 50 million or 100 million or whatever. There's a lot to consider. It's just like Haaland. It's way more than 75 million or whatever his release clause. You've got to give a commission to Mino Raiola. You've got to give certain bonuses and certain P's and all of these sort of things, man. Raz, I appreciate you for plugging me in here where I was on Twitch. Appreciate that. Shout out to you lot, my guys and girls out there. 150 million is too much for Dusan. In that case, get Haaland or Mbappe at that same price. Arsenal can't be paying 300k a week. He's on 20k a week now. That's too much of a bump. His agents are on one. We'll get into that in a second, but can't really disagree with what you're saying, really. Prices quoted for Vlahovic is a high risk. I would have bought a mission and get on the phone to Isaac, assuming that they want to sell him in this window. Mafia boss, welcome back to you as well. Need a DG deep dive into Vlahovic and Isaac. Have we been linked with Isaac again? Because I've already spoken on Isaac, man. We spoke about Arthur Melo. Last we heard is he's been offered to Arsenal. And that's it. Ornstein said we're looking to get a midfielder sooner rather than later. Bro, you should bring one to the club then, innit? You lot can be on the case. You lot can be looking. You lot can be doing what you want. Till I see a midfielder in some capacity holding the shirt. It's a bit of a myth, man. It's a bit of a myth, really and truly. It's a bit of a myth. Isaac's got a release clause. I swear half of them players in Spain do. So activate the release clause then. If that throws a spanner in the works for us in a positive sense, do what we need to do, man. And to be fair to you, the wages, 300k a week, I don't know what the true cost is, but for someone that ain't really proved it in Europe, it's a bit mad. But when you consider 5 to 6 years, then boy, I'm not saying it makes sense, but it is what it is. Appreciate you. Look, we'll get into that in a second. Morning, South London. Get Isaac and Bruno for 150 if it can be done. Why not? Assuming we have 150 million pounds to spend, really. Stump up the cash for Bruno Guimaraes and get a striker on loan, even if it's Luka Jovic. I hear you on the loan stuff. Unpopular opinion. If you're not bringing in someone permanently, what is the point? Because if Luka Jovic comes, he bads it up. If we don't have a buy option, then we're just training players for other teams, man. Isaac can't come until the summer unless release clause is met. Arsenal always fail to prepare. This should have been sorted out in the first week. Should have been sorted out in the summer, bro. Should have been sorted out in the summer. Should have definitely not have let Maitland-Niles leave if you don't have something lined up imminently. It's crazy. Appreciate the Nigerians. Best of luck today. I swear you lot are in action against Egypt today. Obviously, I say best of luck. Best of luck to El Nene as well. Appreciate you. I hope everything's going well. Everything's good, man. Everything's cushy. I woke up today with breath in my lungs. I can't complain. Admittedly, let me take this off. Admittedly, added motivation than I normally wake up with, and it's mainly because of yesterday. Right. Like everyone, I just want a better life. I just want to improve myself. I just want to improve my surroundings. I just want to better myself. And again, not to go over yesterday, but obviously the area I live, like everyone, you see a lot of nonsense in it. Like walking to the shop yesterday, it felt like a scene out the wire. The way the police were being extremely aggressive to people they suspect have drugs on them. It's a bit much, but it is what it is. Gripsing up people on the walls. Yesterday, I was going to the shop, people. Long story short, a ped comes past. Now, if you live in certain areas, you know exactly what time it is. 2 people on a ped. Only see the eyes. It zinged past me and zinged again. I knew what time it was, and it stopped in front of me. I'm crossing the road at this stage. It stopped at me. I've looked at them. I've looked at myself. Now, granted, I'm not. They look like something's getting collapsed in it. Like, you know, I'm not who you lot are looking for. I don't know you lot. But I looked in these lot's eyes, and they look quite young. Like, I'm saying their 20s. They look like they're going to do something. It's blam up something first and then ask questions later. And it's like, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, listen, I'm not Superman, but I back my chances if people fight fair, innit? Dudes, now I'm seeing a side bag, a Gucci bag. Now I'm thinking to what is in there? Like, I'm looking at their eyes. It's like they're trying to collapse something, they're trying to dead something. I'm like, there can't be no madness in there, but could there be a in there? I don't want to find out. And it just made me nothing happen. It just made me think, I don't want to live here, man. I just don't want to live here. Like, this is dead. Like, come on, man. What is there here? It's like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, you don't need to do something positive with your lives. Like I said, I looked into both their eyes. The Don driving the ped and the one on the back. It's the one that's driving the ped that had the Gucci bag on it. He looked like, listen, I don't want to find out what's in there, innit? Like, I don't want to know what's in there. Car. I'd rather it be something else than something else in it, but it is what it is, man. So yeah, I woke up with extra motivation, man. I don't want to live here no more. This is dead, blood. Why not get Vlahovic on loan with an option to buy? I mean, he's contracted until 2023. It wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense for Fiorentina to sign off for that. You know, it literally doesn't make sense. Arsenal are making a huge mistake throwing out an obscene amount of money. Aubameyang ain't banging. Ozil's career nosedived, and less said about Willian. Kolasinac as well. DG needs Kolasinac's bodyguard. Nah, man. Like, nothing going on. He's just living in London, blood. No. That weren't no shotters, man. That was, okay, man, I'm going to take out something and let's see what's going on in it. Brazy, man, brazy. Well, you know, that happens almost every day, man. It's, you know, I've got nothing to fear, man. I don't roll through my life in fear. What's the future's already decided. If something's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. And plus, it's a civilian, innit? Like, their man there look like they going zinging up and down. I don't know where they're from, what they're on, who they're trying to catch, but whoever they're trying to catch, stay in your yard, did it. I hope you did all right. We're at 49 likes, people. Unexpected high bills if we do not improve that, people. So yeah, man. What else are you lot saying? But now, we hear he's open to returning. We hear he's open to staying at PSG. That rumor there's a bit recycled, man. Everywhere in London is fucked up, blood. Wild, wild west. You see it all the time, man. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. It's just the first time this week. Again, got nothing to fear, man. It is what it is. Is Dominic Szoboszlai still an option? I would love him, but it seems like he's gone. And as for buying him cheaply, I don't think we're going to get him cheaply at all, really and truly. I understand the big money contract PTSD of Arsenal fans, but our mistakes have come from old players past their prime. Yeah, I hear that. And you're right. But again, you know, being stuck with a dud is being stuck with a dud. You know, Kolasinac, we got stuck with someone in their mid-20s and whatnot, really and truly. So again, on one hand, I understand it, throw in the bag. You know, the reality is he's just going to live or die by big games. But again, if you spend a massive transfer fee, you give him massive wages and he flatters to deceive, especially you're asking a lot of a 21-year-old as good as he is. You're asking a lot for him to come in mid-season and start banging straight away in a side desperate for a striker. If he fits the system, and he needs to fit the system like a glove, you know, we can't have the Aubameyang and the Lacazette thing where it's flavor of the month. They look like they're fits right now. He needs to fit the system, you know, first things first. Also, there's no point telling me about his strengths. I need to know his weaknesses, and I can't confidently tell you Vlahovic's weaknesses. The club need to know, because you need to know how you're going to improve this 21-year-old. Clearly, he can adapt to living in different countries, but maybe the league might be a cultural, a bit of a culture shock initially. So we're resting on a lot. For me, if there's an opportunity to do it, do it. As I said on Twitch, there's two things. I'm on two sides. On one hand, I'll start with the quote unquote negatives. As much as I like what I'm seeing from Vlahovic, I don't know if he's the truth or if he's in a great bit of form in these last 2 years. I don't know if if he's able to keep doing it. That's just something that we're going to have to see with timing, because he's still 21. Obviously, you have to, you know, I don't really agree with it, but the expected goals, it looks like he's outperforming. You know, the goals are the quality, the sides he's scoring against. He's scoring against a lot of bottom half sides to be negative. And again, I don't know in my heart if he's going to bang. And every striker we're being linked with is going to present their own little risk. We haven't got the money to buy strikers that are confirmed goals. Every signing, whether they're from the league or abroad, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Watkins, Isaac, we're not linked with him really, but Darwin Núñez, all of them are going to carry risks, some more than others. Every signing is going to carry a risk. So what we need to do is make sure we've had an educated risk. We've looked at him from his time at Partizan. You know, we seem to be going for the guy aggressively. I hope this is a thing where we're actually want him, or we're not trying to react because Lacazette's walking, Aubameyang stuff. Make sure he fits us like a glove. Also, he's going to live or die by goals. His goals are going to, you know, man need to score goals. We need someone that can get 20 plus minimum in the league and beyond, and as well as all comps. But what does he do when he's not scoring? That's what needs to be answered. And how are you going to improve him? And also, you know, he's clearly got his chest high. He's looking at these Madrids and these clubs. Realistically, Arsenal are not there. So you need to sell the carrot of, you know, you come here, Premier League, develop. We've got a young squad. If you do what you need to do and Arsenal get back to European football and challenging for trophies, then man, they will come for you again, and you can leave with our blessing, and you might make a profit on what you've done, people, man. Trust me, man. Just another day in the strip, man. Just another day on the strip. But it's a bit of a political one, man. It's one where there's no wrongs. And the good for me, I like what he sees. Again, you know, I said the bad, the good. I think he's cerebral. I think he has got general play. I think he's not the quickest, but he's not the slowest. I think he can obviously score goals. I think he can play with his back to goal. I think he can bring people in. I think he ties into what we're doing long term. I do like what he's been doing in the last 18 months. You know, and we need a striker, simple as that. And again, you either take the risk or you sit here in a year or so when you see him doing things at other clubs and you say, boy, why didn't we? As long as the risk has been educated, we know how we're going to improve him. We know how he's going to tie into the team. Then I'm all for that. Personally, as great as potentially signing Vlahovic is, until we sign a centre midfielder, I'm not happy really, because again, Vlahovic up front is wavy. How's the ball going to go to him? You know? We haven't got them technical midfielders, so our 10 is dropping deep. If our 10 has to drop, that means our striker isn't going to get on the ball. And he does look incredibly service reliant. He can make his own goals per se, but I wouldn't say that's his bread and butter, really and truly. As long as it's an educated, as long as it's an educated risk, then I'm all for it. If we're doing foolishness, this is where the problem presents itself, in my humble opinion, really and truly. So let's see what the actual report is saying, people. Keep your opinions in that coming. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Arsenal are determined to land Dusan Vlahovic this month, despite having to stump up a total of 150 million, with Fiorentina striker demanding 300k a week on top of a 58 million transfer fee. So you're going to have to give agent fees and all of this. Is he doing these unrealistic demands because he doesn't want to sign for us? Is this someone just leveraging the fact that he can get a payday and whatnot? I don't mind, because at the end of the day, football is, he must come from humble beginnings. Football isn't done, you know, football career isn't long. So why not, man? Why not? You know, you're determined. But again, Arsenal make it harder for yourselves, because if he doesn't bang, then it's not just the transfer fee. It's another player with big wages that you might struggle to move on. He's going to need a period of adaptation. So I hope we're doing whatever. And that will make the total cost 150 million. And you'd imagine, how do you do that without getting rid of Aubameyang in some capacity? You know, you've got Aubameyang's wages where he's not playing now. You've got 100k a week until he leaves in Kolasinac. You know, you've still got to pay Lacazette to the end of the year. You've still got to pay Cedric, Marie, all of these guys, Chambers. They're not on the most groundbreaking of fees, but they're not cheap either. And it all starts to add up and affects what you can or can't do. Now, I'm not a finance man. Arsenal must commit a staggering 150 million if they want to complete a move for priority January target Dusan Vlahovic. Nevertheless, the Gunners have not been put off by the huge financial outlay and are working to seal a deal to sign a player recognized as one of the best emergent talents in European football. Mikel Arteta wants to sign a centre forward, and the club have identified the Fiorentina star as their preferred option this month. They also have an interest in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but the chances of luring the England star from Goodison in January appear remote. Arsenal, as well as North London rivals Tottenham, have inquired about the potential cost of a deal to sign Vlahovic. Sports Mail has learnt that the Gunners have been quoted a minimum of 58 million in terms of a transfer fee for the Serbia international, while Vlahovic will command 160 per week wages after tax in wages over a 5-year contract, which equates to just over 300k per week. So, I mean, when you get past the headline, what do you expect? I mean, the total cost is always going to be like that. And if he came here and done well and signed a 5-year deal within that, he's going to sign an improvement. So if it's 160k a week, that's fair enough on a 5-year deal. You know, again, this is why I always implore you lot to look at exactly what the report says. Don't just look at the headline. That's, if this could be done, I don't see anything wrong with it personally. 58 million, 160k per week, 21 years of age. Arsenal can do a lot worse, have done a lot worse. I can't. It is what it is. It's also understood that interested clubs in Vlahovic have also been informed that the deal will also include 15 million in fees to his players' camp. So agents are one thing, you know, so you've got to pay that. It's just like Haaland. You've got to pay a handsome sum. Any club signing Haaland, Mino Raiola, and probably Haaland's dad have to make it eat. You know, you sign a lot of players, people have to eat, really. And Arsenal, we've maybe not that groundbreaking, but can we imagine that Kyle Jarutkin, half of these players that have been shoddy signings, their agents haven't pocketed decent fees? All right, cool. It is worth 15 million a lot, and they're trying to get paid, but it is what it is. Indeed, the additional payments to the players' representatives is understood to have been a major sticking point for clubs across Europe that have shown an interest in Vlahovic. So maybe it's because he doesn't want to leave that they're being unrealistic, and in the summer they'll change. But, you know, whether, I can't imagine Juventus, Arsenal, any of them really want to pay that 15 million. So you're kind of messing up and stuff. Apparently, sources insist money is not the only factor for Vlahovic and his camp, with the player determined to play at top-level European football, which neither Arsenal nor Spurs can offer this season. Damn. But if Vlahovic, who is aware of Arsenal's interest, can be convinced of the project Arteta is building and the club can make a competitive financial offer, then the Gunners have a chance of landing the highly rated forward who has 23 goals in 28 senior appearances for Fiorentina and Serbia this season. There's an acknowledgement at Arsenal that the deal to sign Vlahovic is expensive, but there's also a realization that if they are prepared to pay a premium when they stand a good chance of signing the former Partizan forward, who is expected to be hot property within the summer. Fiorentina are said to be reluctant to sell Vlahovic to Juventus, who are also interested, to avoid a backlash from fans who were annoyed after the club sold star players Chiesa and Bernardeschi to the Turin club in recent seasons, which would work in Arsenal's favour. We all know Chiesa suffered a season-ending injury. Arteta is determined to improve his squad this month, a feeling that was strengthened on Sunday after his side crashed out of the FA Cup. If there are no midfield, listen, strikers is one thing, but you know, I know that the priority has to be a midfielder, but it doesn't feel like there's one solid midfielder that we're trying to grab. You know, a few days ago, it was looking like, all right, cool, Edu is on the case for Bruno Guimaraes. You know, whether we're going to sign Vlahovic or not, based on the reports and this, it started off as a joke and it's hanging around like a bad smell. There is some real insistence of Arsenal to sign a striker. We could sign him, it doesn't matter until you address that midfield. So I want to see the same energy with midfield personally, but that's where Vlahovic is concerned, people. So yeah, let me see what you lot are saying. Hit the like button if you haven't. We're still not at 100 likes. You lot are boying it and violating people. Tough crowd, tough crowd. Very tough crowd. They've not got my name in the title. What's all of that? Sorry, folks. I don't know why YouTube is on that. All right, we're back now. So yeah, that's where Vlahovic is concerned, folks, people. It's as simple as that. And I mean, I'm for it, but yeah, man. Us fans look at the price too much to sign him. Don't worry, Kroenke will pay it. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Big up DG, always on the ball. Vlahovic is in good form, but with that said, the way we play, his hold-up play needs to be top-notch for the way we play. Hate to say Giroud would be flourishing in this team. I don't know for flourishing because he's not going to score the goals, man. He'd be doing the same shit Lacazette does. If he just, you know, you'd be doing okay things for the team, but the goals, man. I'm not feeling it. He clearly doesn't want to join Arsenal. I see Pepe part 2. Giving him that contract sets a wrong precedent. If I'm Martinelli, Saka, Smith, I want to be on what he's on. You know, they will get closer to that. But really, are we really saying that over 160k a week? Really? Like, are we really saying that over 160k a week? Very, you know, when we looked at this. Big up yourself, FA. Best of luck on that test. Defo don't want Watkins. Sorry, but he doesn't seem any better than Eddie NK. A bit harsh. He's shown he can score goals in the Prem, and Eddie hasn't. Personally, I just want Isaac, as I think he'll get on with Odi, Saka. I mean, Isaac, Darwin Núñez, would love him. This could be 4D chess to get another target like Isaac. I hope so. But then again, certain fans were saying it's 4D chess from Mikel Arteta to bring on Kolasinac against Nottingham Forest in some conspiracy theorist thing that he's telling the board he needs new players. Really? 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 I mean, it's not a high price though, man. It's not a high price, my guy. It's not a high price. 160. I could be wrong, but 160 a week for a 21-year-old that's going to sign a 5-year deal seems just about fair. The only thing that I have an issue with is that 15 million in agents' commissions. And you know, Vlahovic, again, Arsenal's one thing, but if Juventus, Madrid, all these teams are onto you, you need to have a word with your agent, really, because agents can get you a dream move, they can cost you one. If he's really playing hardball, again, maybe he's playing hardball because they do not want to leave in January. But for me, once you get into the facts, I don't see anything wrong with 160 a week. If you want these sort of guys, that's still less than what Aubameyang's on, assuming you'd move him on. That's 60 grand a week more than what we're playing for Kolasinac. And if we were to do the right things, like, you know, again, I don't like to talk about finances because it's not my forte. And I'm not saying to sell everyone, but I don't know how much Cedric's on. He must be on like 30, 40 a week, probably more. Maybe like, let's say as high as 50, you know. You've got Kolasinac on 100k a week. You know, you've got El Nene probably on 50 next season. That's not going to be a thing. You know, Lacazette's probably on 100 plus. Aubameyang's on whatever he's on, you know. These sort of things, Marie must be on a decent wage. So once you start clearing the decks, things start looking after themselves. Obviously, you pissed it with William as well. You gave William more than that. Again, I don't know how accurate these things are, but let's actually see Arsenal's wages. I don't see anything wrong with 100 and 160 a week. Again, it's not my money. I'm not a finance man. I simply do not care really and truly. But where would it place Vlahovic? Look, Vlahovic still wouldn't be the highest earner. He'd be around what Partey's on, really and truly, which is behind these two who, in an ideal world for Arteta, Aubameyang and Lacazette aren't going to be a thing. That will be just about 20k more than Pepe. You got Leno leaving. You know, Leno's gone. Kolasinac is gone next summer. You know, Cedric's on 67. My word. No one put a gun to Arsenal's head, but bloody hell, mate. You know, really and truly. And this is the wage structure. You know, our best players are nowhere near the top end, the top bracket. Obviously, they're young, and you could imagine in the next 5 years this will change. But again, the finances can look a lot better when you get rid of Lacazette's 182. Because as much as I like Lacazette, are we paying, you know, is he our second highest earner to work hard and press, or do we need a bit more than that? Aubameyang not doing the business for 250 a week. Partey, again, the jury's still out, but we signed him. Pepe, again, mismanagement of finances. Leno, Kolasinac, it goes without saying. Cedric, again, you start getting rid of these men, it starts looking healthier. Marie and Callum probably get rid. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Balogun's done a very good job, you know. Saka needs to get a new deal. Next one probably has to take him to 100. You know, I have to see Saka near this territory. And you'd imagine in the next 18 months, if he keeps doing his thing, Smith Rowe might be in mind, man. Really and truly. So I don't see anything wrong with that personally. Once you get past the headline and the 300k, it's not 300k, is it? Like, there'll probably be other incentives in his contract. I find it funny giving goal bonuses for strikers to score goals, but there could be goal bonuses, more money if we qualify for Europe, and all of these sort of things, people. Yeah, I've got that Florentina game recorded. Ain't preed it yet. But yeah, it doesn't sound like Vlahovic had the best of games. Bills are coming in fast, bruv. Smash the like. Smash the like if you don't want unexpected high bills. Shout out G1 in the building. I hope they're working behind the scenes to sign a midfielder because, bro, bringing in Vlahovic is dead. If he tries to press and they beat that line, what's going on in midfield? And you will not see Vlahovic and all of these guys go to the next level until the midfield's addressed. You won't see our defense go to that next level until the midfield's addressed. Boy, man said on the tram into town in the city of Nottingham in my Arsenal jacket, still hurting. George, go home, mate. Go home. Oh, man. You got some other transfer news to carry on with soon, but I like what you lot did, man. Cedric on 75 apps. DG, would you get Jonathan David as a second striker? I'll be open to bringing Jonathan Davis to the carpet. Cho is good. Who's that? Who's Cho? That footballer? I don't know that guy. In your opinion, do you think he wants to come to Arsenal? I think he's open to it. I don't think where is his first choice. I don't think he wants to leave in Jan. I think he's open to it, but it's not like I think he's open to it. He'll listen to Arteta and what he has to say, but it's not like the other clubs, Juventus, Madrid, they come calling, and that's the territory we're in. We're not that. Where's Leno going? Don't know, but he wants to keep it moving. Can't believe Kolasinac has seen out his 5-year deal at Arsenal. Neither can I. And the thing with him, he's going to get his loyalty bonus because he's seen out the duration of his deal. So he's going to get a nice little thing, just like Aubameyang. If Aubameyang sees out that contract, he gets his signing on bonus. Crazy, man. I'll be real. I just don't want the youth. I can't lie, raw. If you want the top players, got to pay top P's. Simple as that. Exactly. Just like Liverpool, them man, they have a decision to make. Whether it's right or wrong, hindsight will be the best teacher. Do you give Salah the money he wants? Or not? And if you don't, who's replacing him? Tommy needs to be on more money. Trust. DG, would you take a rig? Nope. We're not going to get them little Anfield nights against Barca because we're not in the Champions League right now. Dead. Who's Callum Hudson-Odoi? Who's that? Who's that? Like I said, Cho Hudson-Odoi. Who's that? I don't know who them man are. Dusan wants out of Serie A, so no Juventus. I mean, that's the first I've heard that. But I've never seen this Chelsea winger, T. Who is Callum Hudson-Odoi? I don't know that guy. Vlahovic is not good. I'll take your word for it, P. Isaac had more goals from open play last season, but Vlahovic is supposed to be a prime Henry by the sound of it. Boy. Anyone realizing this is, again, the perfect time to get rid of Granit Xhaka, then use that money for some of the upgrade? I mean, if you're struggling for midfielders, I'm not saying you're wrong, but if you're struggling to bring in midfielders, you're letting some go. Would it be wise to sell Granit Xhaka before you've confirmed the next one into this club, especially on the eve of the games we're having coming thick and fast? I don't know if that's the right thing, the right way to go about things, really and truly. It's not worth 150 million. That's the total cost is 150 million. You know, if we could see the total cost of a lot of players, we'd look at things different. Apparently, Dusan's dad is pressuring him to join Arsenal. Big up, daddy. But we're going for dada. You know, it's not happened, is it? So make sure you're getting it done, innit? Make sure your son does it. Anyways, let's move on with some other speculation. 1v1 Demon, I don't know who that is, man. A champion of Europe. I mean, you know, Ronaldo Lima never had a Champions League trophy. So if we're looking at trophies as a way of looking at stuff, you know, man are flexing, you know, he's moving like the galley in the rave. Man are flexing with bottles that they didn't buy. Myth. But yeah, and just chugging down people's things like one. Could have got myself cancelled. But anyways, let's move on. You know, from one good striker to a mediocre one, Arsenal have received a boost in their bid to not lose Eddie Nketiah on a free transfer this summer. The Times have been reporting, the Times is something you got to sign up to, that Crystal Palace have opened talks over a move for the striker. Come on, let's keep it moving. He's rejected contracts. He's not levels. You know, I would give him a new deal in some reality to see if he could go on loan, make us some money, you know, and do certain things. But I don't understand it. I don't understand why he started against Nottingham Forest and not Lacazette. You know, are we trying to win things and do serious things, or we making this a play crash? And I think this is where that was another example of Mikel Arteta making the decision, the right decision for him, not necessarily Arsenal Football Club. There was no way in hell Eddie Nketiah should have started against Nottingham Forest. And, you know, I don't think Lacazette's amazing, but he's half decent. Anytime Eddie Nketiah, for me anyways, has to buck a half decent team, he struggles. The phone don't ring, the phone stays dead, really and truly. And at 22 years of age, just let the man go and play ball. Oh yes, salty for having a bit of banter. Oh yes. Yes. Man said, can't convince me Isaac is the main when he's scored 4 goals. Thierry, you're forcing it. Not everyday pause, man. You start projecting insecurities and immaturities. But allegedly, that's where we're at with Eddie Nketiah. It's quite boring speaking about Eddie, Crystal Palace, Brighton, West Ham, Bayer Leverkusen, Gladbach, Stuttgart. All of these teams allegedly are interested. So sort out your future or do what you want. For Arsenal, you should have sold the man in the summer. Should be trying to get the man gone in right now. Because realistically, you can't have it always. You really think, if I'm Eddie Nketiah, and you'd be a dickhead to do it, why sign a new deal? If Arsenal bring in Vlahovic, why are you going to sign a new deal? Yeah, you could be the number 2. Lacazette and Aubameyang might be gone. Balogun's on loan. We don't know how it's going to happen, but it's not making sense. Like, just let the man go. What are we doing? You know, apparently Palace had a 12 million bid in the summer. Arsenal wanted 20, which is different from us agreeing the fee and hearing that personal terms made it happen. Arsenal only to sell Eddie to Palace if a new striker arrives this month. Whoa, okay, cool. You're going to let my man leave for free. Again, very reactive. And, you know, I can't lie, I don't care that much about Eddie Nketiah to carry on waffling about it. Again, we've been linked with Danilo people. Again, apparently we've been warned on him. In fact, there's 2 Danilo articles, really. Where is it? There's this. Let's bring that one slightly closer as well. Why have we been warned? Apparently, we're interested in him, as we know, and we're linked with a £21 million bid. A player for the back-to-back South American champions. He's earned a solid reputation. He looks good from what I've seen, people. The 20-year-old Brazilian would not be a short-term fix. Danilo would be a long-term investment. It's hard to imagine him making an immediate impact, which should not be interpreted as criticism of a very young player. Exactly. You're going to sign a 21-year-old striker and maybe this midfielder and expect fireworks mid-season. It's not going to happen, but, you know, you're still going to have to put in a shift. Away from that, though, apparently, you know, Lille, Monaco and us are interested. And again, they don't want to let him, 3 clubs are interested in the 20-year-old. They don't want to let him go at this moment because they're in the Club World Cup, people. And that starts in February, which means, you know, we might have to wait until the end of the season over here in England before we could do a thing. Allegedly, these clubs have inquired, but no proposals have been presented. So maybe it's a bit premature to talk about rumours and whatnot. Allegedly, Arsenal offer only 1 on the table. Gunners clearly keen for January deal. Various ways to get the deal done. Who is this? More Vlahovic stuff. I'm tired of this, man. It's clear that despite widespread interest, the only offer on the table for January is from Arsenal. This time, the bid is put as a permanent transfer of Lucas Torreira, who's been shining in Italy, plus 50 million. Various previous claims have put the offer at straight 70 million or 80 million, and it's clear there are various ways to get this deal done. The newspapers also linked to all these clubs. Fiorentina would like for one of those clubs to come forward and challenge Arsenal. Obviously, they just want a bidding war for their client, people. So that's that for them. What's all of this, people? Option on the table. Signing Arsenal player will be considered after transfer presented. I think this is with Atletico Madrid. Apparently, this article also covers the Cedric Suarez situation, and they seem rather more optimistic on the chances of Atletico making a move for the Arsenal player. They say they've been able to confirm that the Gunners man is a possible signing for Simeone this month. He's an option on the table. Atletico would be considering a loan until the end of the season with a clause meaning they have the opportunity to make the transfer permanent. Let it happen, man. The guy's not good enough. Grown man that isn't able to track spaces. How can your marking be? How can your position in play be worse than Tavares? Do you know what's going on? Really and truly. I've clicked on this article. Again, Trippier's left Atletico. Let's see what actually is said. We refer to Cedric Suarez, the Portuguese plays for Arsenal, and there are several English media that report that the Portuguese is of the agenda of Atletico Madrid for the post-Trippier era. This newspaper has been able to confirm that it is an option on the table. although it is true there is still no formal proposal on the table for Arsenal. So again, he might not be going anywhere. The player is barely counting for Mikel Arteta. Well, when the rare occasions he fucks it up, really. Chambers should be ahead of him. What does seem clear that Atletico will explore the market this January, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, hopefully Cedric Soares can keep it moving and go and play football, which I don't think is going to be the case. Allegedly, people, we're in a fight for Bruno Guimaraes. Juventus have reportedly made a loan offer for him with an option to buy. According to Goal, it's just no one likes a messenger. So let's go on the official article, people. Let's click on this. Apparently, negotiation is difficult because the French want an agreement with a purchase obligation of 45 million euros. So are we going to find 45 million? Probably I'd say 90 to 100 million on two players this window. Considering we just spent 150 and considering I'm sure there's a couple of additions to make in the summer, a backup goalie and a backup right back, assuming you don't sign a striker. Is the finances there? Will our owner inject finances? I don't know. Juventus are allegedly interested, bit like the Hour stuff. The report heard that if Juventus signals with values close to that number, Lyon would probably accept the transfer, but there is room for negotiation for less, especially if there is a cash payment. As you know, Bruno Guimaraes played quite well in the 1-1 draw with PSG, people. He seems to be quite up for the big games, up for big games, very good technically, Brazilian, on the right side in terms of age, central midfielder. Needs to get done, innit? Needs to get done, really. Needs to get done. Will it? Can it? Is another thing, though. So let's close this one. Now, Pablo Mari's been linked with a whole host of clubs and offered to a whole host of clubs in Europe, and nobody's taking interest. The only one that's interested is his former team over in Brazil, and apparently he doesn't want to go back there. Apparently, Villarreal boss Una Emery monitoring 12 million Arsenal player, people. He's interested in Pablo Mari. Apparently, Valencia are also interested in the 28-year-old who cost us 12 million in transfer fees. And, Fiorentina, Udinese, Torino, and AC Milan and Sampdoria are all interested. But many people are interested. What matters is correlating that to offers on the table. If nobody's played for no offers, then the 28-year-old Spaniard stays where he's put, really, and whatnot. I would love for us to sanction a loan with an option to buy or something. Just get him out of the club. He's not good enough for what we're doing. Now, Balogun, you'll probably see official confirmation later today. But as you know, Arsenal and Middlesbrough have basically confirmed the loan move for Folarin Balogun. He goes and plays under Chris Wilder, who wanted him at Sheffield United. And we hope he has a productive season in terms of scoring and doing what we want him to do. But most importantly, learning. You've seen it when he played against Sunderland. You saw it against Brentford. For all his talent, he's still young and very raw. And there's a lot for a young striker to learn in the Championship against some very good centre-half. So we wish Balogun all the best, people. As we know, he's currently, in COVID isolation. And this move the I's will be dotted and T's will be crossed further once he comes out of it. And he'll become the second loan signing of the window for Middlesbrough. And Middlesbrough have just been drawn against Man United, so in the FA Cup. So we hope he plays and he's able to do a thing. But yeah, it's about time. It's about time. This is where we see your true level. I don't care for badding up under 23s, because he's too good for that level. He's stronger, he's faster. Now it's a thinker's man sport. And he seems to have struggled with his decision making and whatnot. So let's let him go, let him develop. We got past the euphoria of signing a new deal. Second half of the season, you've now gone out on loan because you're unable to scratch the surface in the first team at this moment. So go and do your thing, Chris Wilder. Take care of our young lad. And we wish him all the best in that regards, really. Like, what more can you say? We wish Balogun all the best, people. Hopefully he has a fantastic loan spell filled with productivity and all of these sort of things, people. It's a part as a bully, facts. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I don't trust the Serie A quality these days. I mean, every signing's a risk, man. Eddie's phone's on silent. It's dead, man. Like, I like Eddie, but it's just when it counts, man, are not levels, man. All banter, mate. But you know how some people are in the chat. They start crying, man. But Eddie ain't even got Digicel, man. It's too much. I prefer to get Jovic. What's your opinion? What, Jovic over Vlahovic? I'm taking Vlahovic every day of the week. If the conditions are right and Arteta kind of sanctions it, then yeah, why not get Jovic? DG, what team does Eddie start for deep? I don't know. He needs to do the German thing. I think he could be part of the squad, but I just think currently until you develop, if I'm Palace, you could be part of the squad, you can earn a start, but you wouldn't come in to start necessarily. Brighton's been linked with you. Are you better than Neil Maupay currently? Do you offer much? I don't know. So probably not. It probably needs to check his ego a bit. If you're not going to go to some of the German teams with hardly any resources, it's a myth. Vlahovic has pace, strong aerial ability, is an indirect set-piece threat, and has good finishing. However, poor ball control, poor passing, and a lack of defensive contribution are his flaws, which, again, the second bit, defensive contribution, that you need that from your striker in terms of the pressing. I thought we was trying to do this pressing thing. So, yeah, man, it's dead. Last few streams, we've been lazy. Stylish, I might have to disappear for a couple of days, man. Man, don't appreciate me. Funny how these headlines include total sum of transfers, but when it's United with Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo, it's just a transfer fee. Absolutely shameless. Does Eddie play over Pukki, Wilson, Maupay, Wood, Edouard, or Benteke? Probably not really. Probably. I'd back him to get game time over Pukki now because, Norwich look shit, but boy, I don't know. Not gonna lie, he would get in at Southampton. He's better than Shea Adams? I can't, but you got. I don't know. I'd hope for him to, but I can't look at any Prem team and convincingly say he's going to start for them. You look at Watford, you can't even say Watford. They got Dennis. I don't know. Why are we not getting Nkunku? He's versatile and can play centre mid, cam, and forward, and buy another centre mid and Calvert-Lewin. It'll be the best January transfer window. We're not going to get Calvert-Lewin in the summer. I mean, in Jan, sorry. Bottom two strikers in the league with Joe Linton, boy. Well, 12 million for Marie isn't bad, bro. I don't think you're getting. I'll really respect Arsenal if they get that, because I don't think you're getting that for him. I don't think you're getting that. Eddie is a fox in the box. Anything else is a myth. Again, I'm not trying to get at Eddie, but you're not a fox in the box. Because if I look at it, if I'm a prospective club, yeah, he's got a great under-21 record and 23s, but you're not a fox in the box in the pro game. You're still learning the levels. There's ability there, but you're not a fox in the box because you don't have fox in the box statistics. You're anything but a fox in the box in front of goal. And if I bought you and you say you're fox in the box, I'm getting my receipt and I'm taking you back because I've been conned. I feel sorry for Eddie against Nottingham Forest because he was working with scraps. But the reality is you've got to be clinical. It's all fun and games doing it when we're beating Sunderland or we're battering teams. Man, have to do it when it counts. The phone needs to, like I said, the phone needs to be on when it counts, and it ain't counted. You didn't, again, he's not the sole reason we lost to Everton. We were poor, but you had chances. You didn't finish. Same as Aubameyang, but you didn't finish. You had chances against Forest, minimal, but you didn't finish. If you're meant to be this clinical brother, one chance, one shot, he's dead, bro. I can't lie, respectfully. This ain't, I'm not even trying to get him. You can't argue with numbers, He's just improving his general play now. I don't want to write a man off at 22. I think he's a decent player. He's got 5 goals in 8 games so far this season. Let's say 7 because we can't really be including the reserve game. So he's got 5 goals in 7. That's not bad. But where have they come? Fair enough, you've only played 3 times in the league, which tells Arteta whether you want to keep him or not. You don't trust him and you don't think he's in your starting 11. So commit him to a new deal, sell him for profit or loan him out or let the man go. And for Eddie, this shows you're not levels, really and truly. The cup, that's your thing, 3 of those goals came in 1 game, so it's one of them. I'm not trying to be harsh because I don't want to write off Eddie. I think it's very harsh to judge a striker at 22. I think you can be a Premier League footballer or do something. I don't know. I'm not saying you're going to be Andy Cole in that, but I do think you could make more of a profit at the club. You can't argue with the numbers, people. Under 18s for Arsenal, probably better than that. Gunman, 15 goals in 16. Under 23s, 28 goals in 40. Good. You touched the first team now, 72 appearances. And credit to Eddie, but I didn't think he had 72 appearances. 18 goals. At Leeds, 5 in 19. And when we start breaking it down into the competitions, 41 appearances. This tells you've been a big part player since you've scratched the surface in the first team now. But 5 goals. Championship, 3 goals. That's 8 goals when it matters in a senior league. Is this a fox in the box? If you're fighting relegation, trying to win a league, trying to get Europe, is this a striker you can think can, as we know, goals make the difference? Is this a striker you could put your faith in? And it's harsh because he's developing, he's learning, but this is a myth. There's a myth of big myth. Ever since you come into the first team, you're not. And that's you, Balogun, you need to be able to show you can do it at this level. I think one thing I like about Balogun, he's learning from Eddie. You've gone on loan now early, whether you've wanted to or not. I feel Eddie, Nelson, Joe, to a degree, even Smith Rowe at the time, they were part of the first team, but they're not. And what I mean by that is they're training, they're playing, they've got a first team shirt, they might travel, but you're only playing the occasional cup game. It felt like Joe Willock and Eddie in particular were happy to play against Blackpool in that. Is it any surprise that they're behind in their development in comparison to some of their peers? It's only now at 22 that Eddie is showing you a bit better in general play. It's only, well, now that Joe Willock is looking all right last year, he's struggling now, playing a different system and whatnot. Go out on loan, pick the right loans and go on loan. Smith Rowe was in this boat not too long ago before the Chelsea game and he did his thing. But fox in the box, that's the biggest misconception. I like Eddie, but that's not fox in the box. That's the furthest thing from a fox in the box. You don't know what a box is, you know? You don't know what a box is. You don't know what a goal is, you know? It's like someone acting like they're Hugh Hefner. When you put them in front of some Nani, they're moving mad. Like, it's not making sense. Like, anyways, man, big up to Eddie because, again, he's made 72 appearances for this club. He's won an FA Cup. He's become a professional footballer. He's gone from getting released at Chelsea, being signed and come up through the team. That's a good thing. But this is where I get on to Arsenal. This is where you need to sell a man. This is where you needed to sell Maitland-Niles time ago. You know, not everyone can come on the journey. Certain players are going to do the Saka and Smith Rowe thing. Certain people might be like Maitland-Niles, but they might find a role for themselves as a squad player. Certain guys might only be here for a couple of years. Certain guys might come from the academy and it's evidently seen that you're not levels, be sold. We might bring someone through the academy at the moment. They're not looking like they're ready. We sell them and then they show that they're level somewhere else. Crazy, man. Nearly 400 watching and we haven't got 200 likes. Boost the likes up, people. G1, they're doing me dirty. Unexpected high bills galore, man. If you haven't. This man never reads my comments. I've read it now. The world don't revolve around you, my guy. Respectfully, there's always 400 people in here. You know, the world doesn't revolve around you. My channel doesn't revolve around you. Please don't take any personal offense if I don't read your question. I haven't got a censor where we're just focused on you, you know. Respectfully, if you want to pay me, I'll answer all the questions you want, but brother, it don't work like that. Anyways, what's your thoughts on a possible Arthur Miller loan deal? We're desperate in midfield to get it done, really, but it seems that maybe we're not convinced on that one because it stopped. I mean, I want Balogun to show he could score goals, but crucially, it's development. Because one thing that annoys me, a lot of people will not watch Middlesbrough games. They will watch the 5 seconds he scored a goal, and that's it. They won't see, because I clocked it with Nelson. There was games Nelson scored, and he played quite shit. Games he didn't score, and he played quite well. You know, I just want Balogun to learn. Come back a more confident player, a more physically imposing player, a player that's not, you're not going to be all the way there yet. You're not going to go to Middlesbrough and return a bad boy like that. But, you know, think his game. You know, all that matters is speed of thought. The best footballers think. You think Ronaldo for years could score these goals if he didn't think? Forget the free kicks and the running and all of that. Oh, man, think. Any great footballer in any position, no matter how they play, you strip it down, they're one of the best because they're there. Eddie looked better left wing. Aye, prospective clubs. Make him, come on, buy the guy. Vlahovic is too self-centered, in my opinion. What makes you say that? Because I think I know why, but I want to hear you say why, just to play devil's advocate. And what I would say to play devil's advocate to that is, how do we know that as well? Well, Eddie's not playing at Dortmund. Like, he needs to go Stuttgart. Them clubs there, man. Vlahovic is off 100 million. You have to understand that Dortmund are demanding 200 million for Haaland, and Mbappe the same. Fees are mad nowadays. I mean, the total fee when you add everything into it would be different, but I don't think they're asking for 200 million for Haaland, nor the same for Mbappe, considering he's leaving for free. Eddie looked his most dangerous on the bench. That's the best version of Eddie. It's true. I'd say the best I saw from Eddie actually was when he came back from Leeds. There was a period, I think he started against Everton and Newcastle. And one thing I think he looked more physically imposing after being with Bielsa. Remember that season where he came in and he got a little look in? I think it's under Arteta. That's the best I've ever seen Eddie Nketiah. And that didn't last long. I mean, just type it. Just type in his name. They're saying the total cost is 150. I'm not done with Eddie. It's just, bro, real life. Like, I like Eddie Nketiah. I'm not done with him. But what I'm done with is the dramas, bro. Like, come on now. Like, who is Eddie Nketiah? Respectfully, he's a good player, but every day we're speculating about his form. Managers have to talk about, brother, this is Eddie Nketiah, you know. This is Eddie, respectfully, because I would change places with him. He's a professional footballer. Eddie fucking Nketiah. We're doing this over. Transfer drama and all of this. Bro, if you want to cut. If you want to stay. Come on now. This is where I get annoyed because, bro, he's meaty. Like, it's nothing to do with him. It's like, bro, like, this is me making mediocre players feel prestige. Like, I rate Eddie because I'd be doing the same thing with my contract. Your penny's finally dropped. Go and seize your future. But come on now. Bloody Eddie Nketiah. It's not like it's a Kylian Mbappe or some youngster like that. Like, come on, man. What's your opinion on Obba? Is he dead food or is it the manager's playing style? At this moment in time, it's dead food, isn't it? Like, he's done. He's done. I think Arteta tried left wing, up front, been stinking up the place, innit? And right now, he don't look like a good fit for the team. Things can change with injuries and loss of form and that, but beginning of the end, man. Beginning of the end, broski. DG, do you think the loss in the FA Cup was a ploy by Arteta to get midfielders in this window? I mean, he had to prove that the current options he has is only a recipe for disaster. No, I don't buy them conspiracy things, really and truly, because at the end of the day, this is a manager who has won the FA Cup. I can't say you're going to win the league. I can't say you're going to win the Champions League because you're not even in it, to be nice. So these are the only trophies you have available to yourself. And we're Arsenal Football Club. I don't want to hear you through the FA Cup. And through it for what? And to be honest with you, you know, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face because we're sitting here having these conversations. I know people are saying, oh, you're bringing on Kolasinac as a ploy. It's BS. The squad, apart from guys like that, bro, everybody, to be fair, certain players we've tried to move on, but that's our Arteta squad. Arteta and Edu, without knowing, you lot showed naiveties because you didn't, on top of having a fantastic season last season, I mean, a summer period last year, you didn't bring in a midfielder. It needed it. The only time you look like you're bringing in a midfielder is when Xhaka's keeping it moving. So as much as I like the stability and the spines being addressed, how much has it been addressed? Because the midfield on the best of days is still shaky. 10 games. We don't know what we're getting from Thomas Partey specifically, Xhaka specifically, together. We don't know what we're getting. Is that healthy? I said it before. We're going to live or die. And in this season, we're going to live or die in terms of our top 4 shouts with having midfielders. And the midfield isn't levels. So this is the situation we are going to find ourselves in my opinion. I hope to be wrong. I hope we're able to bring in a midfielder. We do a job. I still think we can fight for top 4. But one of the reasons we do not get top 4, if we do not get it, is going to be because of the midfield. And it was naiveties. You know, you cannot bet on that midfield. As much as I'm sorry, but I think you're a liar if you can say in your heart that Xhaka and Partey, you can bet on that for a 38-game period. Let's go back to August. From August to May, excluding injuries, that's your first choice pivot. And you genuinely believe that can get top 4. I'm not saying neither player is a bad player. I just think you're lying. I think you're lying to yourself, or you're being a hypocrite if you accuse the club of having mediocre high standards and you settle for that. It's nothing to do with either player. It's just it's not 30. It's not 30. Ben White and Gabriel look 30. The 2 fullbacks in Tomiyasu and Tini look 30. Ramsdale looks 30. The midfield, further, not the pivot, but Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, these sort of guys, Pepe for the squad, even though he's looking dead and probably going to keep it moving. Lacazette for right now, it looks like you can see 30 blueprints. I don't know for the midfield, and I won't stop until I see a midfield arrive, man. We will live or die by this, what we do in midfield. Bruno Guimaraes looks like a baller, bro. But I wouldn't say it's no ploy, no conspiracy theory, and all of these sort of things, man. Eddie's phone don't work for big bits. Bro, Eddie's there getting a queue, man. Can't do nothing for no one. Sunderland tax, Meady tax. Just depends on whether it's worth to splash 100 on one player right now when we can get 2, but he's worth that fee regardless. It all depends what you're doing because no one quite does it like Arsenal. You get what you pay for. Almost missed the stream. Big up DJ in the Nation. Big up everyone locked in. And obviously, shout out to you for almost missing it. When has he converted hard chances? The average distance of his goals for Arsenal is roughly 6 yards. I don't mind that. You could be a fox in the box, but you're not a very good one. Like, it's meaty. Like, any half-decent team, Eddie struggles. Eddie's off the stage now. He needs to go somewhere and play week in, week out and develop. Like, you can't get that at Arsenal. If we want to go where we want to go, we can't go with you. You know, we'd all love you to somehow from now to the season show that you can be first choice and do these things. You're a Haylender via Chelsea, but you're a Haylender. You're 22 years of age. You're fixing problems in-house. I know fixing problems in-house isn't sexy, but you get the point. Reality is you're not going to do that. If Arsenal get, I'm playing Martinelli through the middle before you, and if Arsenal get a striker and whatnot, you shouldn't be in the matchday squad. And, Eddie Nketiah needs to ask himself in his heart, if there's a gun to Arteta's head, are you in the matchday squad? You're not. You're not. You're not. Because when there was pressure when we needed to beat Spurs, you weren't there. Half the time there's been pressure. You ain't been there. And that's not me getting at you. That's a fact. Arteta, I like the fact that Arteta's promising you everything under the sun. That's what the manager's going to do, just like to get Balogun to sign. But when you look at the numbers, bro, you're not rated. And rightly so. But we shouldn't let him leave for free. But it's looking mad. Like it's looking mad. Like it's looking like it is that. But the reality is there's nothing you can do. Like there's nothing you can do. We're in January now. It's a myth. It's a myth now. Like you wrapped yourself, man. Like it's a myth, man. Like once you get into this scenario, like it becomes a myth. It becomes a myth. What have you said? Big up SJ. Let me see what that one there is about. Big up you lot for keeping me updated with any potential Arsenal news and all those sort of things. I need to. Why is it not coming up? Here we have it. I don't know if this is true, people, but as you lot can see here, Arsenal technical director Edu has held talks with Lille striker Jonathan David's agent, with the club interested in a potential summer move. However, nothing is concrete yet. That is coming from this Donny. Right, why are you blocked? You must have been chatting shit on the net. I've heard from some sources around Canada that Arsenal's technical director Edu has held talks with Jonathan David, David's agent. AFC is interested in a potential summer move. Nothing is concrete yet. I assume he's one of many strikers on the list. If they don't land their number one target in Vlahovic. And as we know, his agent has signaled to suitors he's ready to leave and things like that, people. Nick Mavromas, he's clearly client has said they're open to leaving and getting that payday. I'd be open to Jonathan David. He's better than Eddie. He's still raw. He wouldn't be my first choice, but why not, man? David's agent and Eddie talks. Fair enough. And again, I don't want to keep going over this Vlahovic crap, but it feels like there's more to say. Where have I missed it? I definitely had something there. There it is, people. Again, this is getting boring. I just want to know if this is going to echo the same stuff we've spoken about, people. Arsenal are working on 58 million deal to sign crowded transfer battle for. Sorry, Arsenal working on 58 million deal to win crowded transfer battle for Fiorentina striker. We know this. Again, we know we're ready to press ahead. Hopefully it does. It should be paving the way for Eddie Nketiah's future. Shouldn't be interlapted with what's going on with Vlahovic. I'll be real with you. The man needs to keep it moving regardless. Scrolling all the way down. Again, I'm trying to see bits of what we haven't spoken about. Again, this is in relation to Eddie. His departure would leave Arsenal short of striking options. Him here leaves us short with striking options. And Arteta will only sanction an exit for Nketiah if he can bring someone in. So why not let Eddie go? Keep delay Balogun's loan, delay Maitland-Niles' loans until you bring in what needs to be brought in. What are we doing? Like, this is what leads me to believe there must be something in the background, or this is amateuristic, man. Arsenal have also shown an interest in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jonathan David, and we're also allegedly looking at Bruno Guimaraes, people. So it's more or less the same. Would you take Ndombele? On ability, yeah. All the other baggage, no. Doesn't matter if Vlahovic is self-centered, if he bangs 30 plus in all comps every season. Trust. Big up DG from New York. 19 degrees here. We, the Arsenal, need a striker badly because none of them are levels. Eddie can't hit a barn door for the first team. Our midfield is ish. Please sign Guimaraes. Roaring. Facts. Isn't Gnabry available on a free this summer? I don't know, man. NKIETAH making DG lose his head. Nah, man, don't mistake the passion. It's just, again, it's not Eddie. It's the decisions made involving these guys, Kai. It's just mediocre players. Like, well, come on. Like, what are we doing? Like, at some point, you have to bite the bullet and be proactive. Eddie, I want you to stay. Here's a contract. Are you signing it? No. All right. Fuck off. Pardon my language. Simple as that. Been offered the new, but Eddie's not Vlahovic. He's not Aubameyang. Like, we're doing the same every year. There's got to be a transfer contract nonsense, and Eddie's not good enough for that. Like, I'm sorry, Eddie's not good enough to it would gas me if I could type my name in on Google and see Arsenal want me to stay. I'm acting over contracts. Come on now, man. Man woke up and decided to speak facts. I don't offer that, but I appreciate that. You up for Lacaz's 2-year extension? Not 2, I'd say a year. It kind of covers us if we can't bring in another striker where a top striker has to come in anyways. Not sure on a 2-year deal, but it is what it is. Go for Adeyemi. Trust. I agree with you, DG. We did the same thing with Willett. Love the guy because he come from the academy, but we should stop overhype. I don't think anyone overhypes Eddie. It's just not everyone can come on the journey. Like, not everybody say. The academy needs to be self-financing, and I think if you could have got your 12 or so million for Eddie, your 20 for Maitland-Niles, you know, what could that do for you? How much could that help you? Still can't believe DG won the champs on FM. I didn't win it. My team won it. You know, I'm just a facilitator. Too much dilly-dallying with it. Too much dilly-dallying. We did it with Auer in the summer when he was available. And that's what scares me about the Vlahovic. Now, the two situations are not interlapted, but it just feels like you've never had... With the Auer thing, it just felt like there was never a better chance to go and sign a man that we've been long looking at. And it feels like with Vlahovic, I don't think the conditions are the same, but I don't know what's going on with other clubs, but it seems like we're the most aggressive. There's favourable circumstances. But yes, the guy wants to sign for us. That does or doesn't want to sign for us is another thing. But ultimately, if it doesn't happen, being devil's advocate, you know, are we doing what Arsenal has done many years in that we aggressively try to sign someone and then at the end of the window, we can say, look, we tried. Ultimately, nothing happened. And for me, midfielder doesn't arrive. It's a myth. Of course, I saw Guimaraes' assist. I'm fine with Xhaka being the new Onene, as in giving depth to the squad. He's not a starter, though, if we want to be a competitive side. Trust. It's mad. It's mad because you said this time after time in the summer, don't sign a midfield and its peak. Here we are, AFCON, and we're screwed. Liam, again, it's not just a me thing. We said it. And people thought I had agendas. Just me looking at midfield, we're light. Like, you know, it's not sustainable. I'll build the team on some real foundations, you know. The way Partey's moving, I can't say you're going to be it. As much as I love Partey, and I think he's got ability, and we have to force it. But right now, it's are you going to be a first choice that Don, or do we demote you? With Xhaka, we've been here. The good, bad, and the ugly. Fundamentally, he's a player that I can't say over a 38-game period I think can take us to the top 4 as a starter. I think Ramsdale could help you be one of them. I think Tierney and Tomiyasu can help you. I think with a bit of help at centre-half, Gabriel and Ben White can do that. You know, I think the Sakas, the Martinellis, these Smith Rowes, Odegaards, these guys can do that. I look at our midfield. I don't really feel the same way. Midfield's a big part of football, much like the modern game. Same way strikers win games, and while we're bagging, our strikers don't really have the most prolific of goals. In the same way, games are won and lost in midfield, as you've seen time and time again. Overran in midfield against Nottingham Forest. Bullied in midfield. Fair enough, it was 3 at the back, but bullied in midfield against Brighton. Yeah, we showed it where Nottingham Forest, I mean, not Nottingham Forest, Newcastle and Norwich, they're going to sit back against us. Yeah, okay, cool. You can get away with Ainsley and Lokonga in games like that. DG, I really believe Arsenal wanted to loan Balogun last summer, but maybe he refused it and wanted to play first team football immediately. He seems to be someone who thinks he's better than he really is. I can't lie. I understand it as well. I think Balogun does feel. I think Balogun's been given a culture shock because everyone on socials gasses him. He clearly played up to the social media antics while it was going down. He needed to go on loan for the last 2 seasons, and his contract has made that not a thing. But he's been given a culture shock, like against Sunderland. The decision making was terrible. Should have went on loan, but I do think he was part of the euphoria. Seeing Haaland boys play football, he thought I could do this. And reality is, bro, you're not ready. You can be, but you're not ready. We need to address the middle of the park before looking at a striker. I hear that. That's the thing, DG. He has to show that the options on a good day still aren't reliable. I think it's not something he can say that he needs, but has to show that we're suffering a midfield deficit. I hear that, but I nah, man, because you lot was involved in the planning. You lot said trust the process. Every player brought in has to have been calculated. I look at the way Edu spoke, and Edu said Lokonga's the backup. These lot are going to be fit. You know, again, Xhaka is very durable, but he's had corona, he's had injuries, you know, and all of these sort of suspension as well with the red card. Partey, you don't know what you're getting. And again, the more that you over rely on certain players, the more that you're overplaying them and the more you run the risk. So for me, I see a not bringing in a midfielder in the summer to go with Lokonga, simply put, as naiveties. You've got to be positively pessimistic in the sense of, yeah, hope we're never in a scenario like we are now where we're down to our bare bones. But you've got to expect injuries, suspension. Definitely, in my opinion, as an Arsenal fan, really. So, boy, we're going to be like, safe DG, it's my birthday today and I want Vlahovic regardless, but that agent is a straight up pimp. Can we blame the agent for wanting to do best for his client necessarily if that's the case and wanting to get finances? I can't really. But first things first, Gary, on behalf of everyone, happy birthday to you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Go and do something, man. Go and drink some rare and stuff. Don't listen to my old boring voice, man. Appreciate you. And on behalf of everyone, happy birthday to you, man. You know, I know it's your birthday, but I want a birthday present of a centre mid, man. I can't lie. Everyone was shit that game, man. Martinelli was shit. Grass is green if Cedric shit, but yeah. I'd throw 50 million at Basuma for post AFCON and loaning our Alpha, and Wijnaldum as well, as Vlahovic is at Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I know he's not here for a month, but Basuma would cover these soft midfielders. Basuma would present something to us, and I'm open to bringing in a 6. But for me, the next midfielder, like, please, can it just be an 8, like, or someone with a bit different strengths? I mean, if we're still struggling, I mean, he might need players clearly, but you know, you've got your players. Like, I don't think me personally, not a conspiracy theorist thing. Like, it's not a conspiracy theorist, and you might need players, but you sanctioned Maitland-Niles to go on loan, which I'm not against. But you haven't got a midfielder. It's naivety. You got every signing you wanted. You lot saw that you needed a midfielder. You bet on it, and you said no. And then you probably said, we're going to revisit now. I can't be surprised if everybody knows Arsenal needs a midfielder. Typically, people don't want to sell people in January. So lo and behold, you're struggling to bring one in. And I'm not saying anyone shouldn't have went out on loan, but, you know, Torreira, who ironically might be helping us with Vlahovic, you sanctioned him. Guendouzi's attitude cost him. You sanctioned him. I've got no excuse. There's no excuses for midfield. I've got great sympathy for Edu and Arteta. Everything that happens as a byproduct of these lack of midfielders in is you lot's fault. Do not stand in the rain and ask why I'm wet. That's just my issue. And I think too many people do that in life. Vlahovic seems like a striker. Seems like a solid striker that can get down to the dirty defensive work as well, which Arteta seems to value a lot. I don't think we're going to go for another forward if we've got a good shot at him. Same, I think this is the number 1 target. Tagged you in a story on Twitter, in a developing story, DG, on old Arsenal boy Koscielny being dropped from his team in France. Well, Koscielny, you pussy. Can't behave yourself. But we thought, you know, you're Mr. I got a nice attitude and all of these sort of things. What a twat, man. What a twat. The way Koscielny left, obviously, Emre vexed you, but he showed his true colours, you twat. Hope he's been dropped for just being shit, because every time I watch Bordeaux, it's long for him. I can't see anything in my ads, though. Let's type in Koscielny. Diplomatic twat. bottler, man. Like, you, anytime it mattered, Kashani, you got bullied as well. Like, absolutely bullied. You done. Bullied by Adair. Got bullied. Got bullied in the against Birmingham. Got bullied against half decent defenders. Kashani was my guy, so a lot of it is just me vex at him. But you get the point. I'm not being. I can't see anything that I'm being atted in, my guy. Let me check on my phone. Maybe my phone gives up something different, but I'm on Twitter on the laptop, and it's saying I'm not atted in nothing. No, this is saying I'm not atted in shit. I'm not atted in. No, apologies. I'm not atted in anything. So yeah, I don't know with Kishani, but for that guy, man, you bottle up. What's your midfield three versus Liverpool and Spurs? I don't know who is fit. Like, I'm asking Joe, if Xhaka's back, then you're playing, man. Xhaka, Lokonga, Mr. Martin Odegaard / Smith Rowe. You're not gonna have to do this thing for the next 2 games. I'd rather take my chance and go for Haaland in the summer instead of Vlahovic. I hear you, but Arsenal have no chance of signing Haaland. But the thing is, Eddie hasn't proven himself to be a championship player. A lot of people said, "Oh, Eddie's our Tammy Abraham," and I said, "You lot are disrespectful to Tammy Abraham." Tammy Abraham has shown at Bristol, at Villa, wherever he's gone, apart from probably Swansea on loan, that he could score goals. You lot said he's our Brewster. You know, fair enough, Liverpool got top whack at the time for Solanke, which is a better comparison and a fair one. Solanke's even proven he's half decent in the Championship. He's not Brewster, because Brewster did all right at Swansea. Eddie went to Leeds, he did a bang. Like, the total fee could be 150 million. What do you think about Villa's transfer move so far? They've already signed Coutinho and close to signing Luka Dean. Good signings, solid signings for Steven Gerrard to work with. You know, I think they recalled that guy from Swindon, the fullback. I think he's a good fullback. Good signings, really and truly. And Coutinho should be exciting. I want to see if he's still got it in him, really. So good signings that take them up a level. And Villa have some good options. Police cars revolving light. AC Roma will go back in for Xhaka in the summer. He is Mourinho's #1 target. Roma believes the Swiss is attainable for them, and maybe that was why he signed the New Year deal. Come back for him, but again, unless he forces the move, we're not going to do it. Let's see what happens, man. Vlahovic's stats has included a lot of penalties. I hear that, but we haven't been too clinical in terms of penalties in the last few that we've been given this season. So maybe that's something. Exactly. If there's no midfield, there's no link, and a lot of it comes down to there's no number 8. Like, I keep saying it, you're not going to see the madness with the front three. You're not going to see better defending until that. I feel sorry for Ben White and actually Gabriel, because they're always having to force it in midfield, and that's when people start giving the ball away because they're frustrated. You know, playing out from the back is one thing. You look at the Premier League stats. The last time I looked, it said Ben White and Gabriel were there for passes. That's great. But I never saw an Arsenal midfielder. I didn't scroll back down enough. And it probably will be Xhaka by default. I like Vlahovic. But, Lukaku's got a lot of problems. Lukaku scores goals. Vlahovic score your goals as long as we can improve. Because he's not the finished article, no matter how much he's signed for. He's 21 years of age. Unrelated, is it true that if Pepe had played more games last year, we would have owed Leo a couple of mils? Probably, but I don't know. Probably not playing because Arteta didn't really rate his team. I like Partey. I'm not doing Partey dirty, but I love my football club. Partey needs to show me that because I'm still of the belief that you get another midfielder for Partey. But the way Partey's been moving this season, are you just going to be part of the squad and a rotation option, or are you going to lay down a marker? I've seen you do it against Spurs. I've seen him do it against United. I saw him do it, like you said, against City. But half of these players do it on occasion. I need to do it all the time. Like with Tomiyasu, I'm not surprised by anything Tomiyasu does because he's consistent. You know, half of these guys, I don't care if you do it 5 times a season. You need to do it a lot more than that. You need to want it a lot more than that. I mean, you just wanted to shout, but you know, I'm all about giving people 5 minutes of fame. Arsenal are nothing but a bunch of bottlers, absolute disgrace of a team in, you know, cap. Stop blaming the manager like those United melters. I don't know or care about what's going on at United. Nobody has mentioned Mikel Arteta. And, you know, when we win, lose, and draw, we do it together. If we win and we praise the manager, you can critique when we lose. We win, lose, and draw together. As long as you consider that there can be multiple factors. But there's your 5 minutes of fame, man. Anyways, moving on from that. Even though I don't want it, Wilshere is a possibility. I mean, Arteta has been quite firm on saying no, but it's looking where you have to go. Can't lie. Partey had a stinker for Ghana yesterday. I can't cap. That was tired. For months, the board knew our problems, yet they only want to take action now. This is why the club stresses me so much, but I love the club. Big up, DG. And this is it, Dominic. We often talk about Xhaka being a squad player. Realistically, though, the respect he gets from the manager and the players, do you really think Arteta would demote him in the squad? And this is why you won't improve. You know, there has been times he's been out the side, and to be fair, it's irrelevant what respect he gets from the managers and the players. Is he good enough? Are other players better? Can you improve? It's that simple. I see what you mean in that I don't think Xhaka's ego could handle being a sideman and keep it moving, but that's probably what needs to happen, really, because I don't think Xhaka is necessarily as amazing as Xhaka sexuals make out. I definitely don't think he's as terrible as people make out. It's a mixed bag, much like our midfield, much like our results. Are we not bored of this? So it's either squad player or move on. Like, again, like, are we a football club or are we a crest? You know, we're acting like this is Sunday League and we just created a team and Xhaka was here from the start, Eddie was here from the start, so we owe them something. We owe, like, bro, if you can show ruthlessness to Aubameyang, and of course it's because of Aubameyang's attitude, then from a purely footballing point of view, it's not impersonal, it's just business. Everyone knows everyone needs players, but we've been knowing. I wouldn't say I don't think we've done this, but if we've woke up in January, oh boy, we better get a move on in terms of centre mids. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Bro, I don't mind not getting a striker if we get a central midfielder I can believe in, but DJ, would you say you hate Adebayo? I don't hate anyone. Hate's a strong word. I hate racists. I hate people that do, you know, the mad thing to little kids and women and stuff. You know, I hate Nigel Farage, Katie Hopkins. I'd say I hate Piers Morgan as well for different reasons. I just hate Piers Morgan. I don't like the way he dealt with Raheem Sterling. I don't like the way he's very brazen in it. Hate's a strong word. I wouldn't say I hate Adebayo though. Arsenal love it. You know, we love it. We love it. We love if we've got a midfield, we love not having a striker. If we got a striker, we got no cam. If we got a striker and a cam, we got no wingers. If we got wingers, we got no fullbacks. Fullbacks, we got one good centre half. If we have 2 good centre halves, our keeper shit. If our keeper's good, the defenders are shit. Like, we love unfinished projects and unfinished jigsaws. We love it. We love it at Arsenal. We love it. Your work rate is on par with Kante, not gonna lie. Appreciate that, man. Trust, bro. Koscielny, bro. Man, I'm crying. You know? My daughter said, why are Arsenal so bad? Fuck Koscielny, man. I'm not saying Vlahovic isn't great, but Lukaku was a monster at 21. Did you touch on the EFL investigating the Liverpool postponement? Well, since then, it's come out that they're not going to face it. But yeah, I spoke on that on Twitch. I told you, lot, if you lot want to see a lot of the, you know, you're missing out on content if you're not following me on Twitch, man. Re-upload soon forward. I don't know, man. I don't understand as well. I don't understand as well. Listen, Eddie and Nketiah, Tyrese, John Jules, and Balogun, they're all good players, isn't it? You know, Tyrese and Balogun over Eddie as well, I would say. But Eddie's ahead of all of them at this moment. They're all good players doing their thing, man. We knew Partey, Pepper were going to be out. We could have brought players in. It's too late. It's a bit too late from Arsenal. I don't think some of our fans realize how good Vlahovic is. He's more than a fox in the box or target man. He has enough skills, a very good footballer, passer. He's world class, trust me. I don't know if doing it for 2 years makes you world class. You know, and you know how I feel with that word. I think it's banded around way too easily. Boy, Koscielny acting up. Pussy. And this is why, bro. You know, Koscielny's a shit guy, man. He said, "Oh, I was jealous when they won the World Cup." Get out of here, man. But he's 36 anyways, man. The Bordeaux shouldn't even be relying on him, man. Stripped of his captaincy. Oh, I know all about that as well. I sympathise with you on that. I know how it feels to get stripped of the captaincy. Oh, and you know what? 3 more weeks until I can play Sunday League again. Free me, man. Soon get over this straight Reddit. Some BS. The refs. I need VAR, man. Violent conduct. I don't know what's going on. I never saw or heard anything. There's too much adrenaline to remember anything. But anyways, Laurent Koscielny is exiled from Bordeaux's first team and stripped of his captaincy due to poor form, with the Ligue 1 side at risk of being relegated. It's not just him. He's been rubbed out as well. But if the captain's getting rubbed out, then boy, been exiled, so that means bare young G's are going to start playing then, really. Koscielny has therefore lost his captaincy duties, with the Liga outfit keen to get the 36-year-old's wages off the books. He's contracted until the summer, has played 11 of the 20 games, but was left on the bench at the weekend. Boy. Apparently, and this guy's a shit person, man. Koscielny launched a scathing attack on his own supporters last February. The atmosphere is very average, even very average. You have to be realistic. Some are at the end of their contract and others want to leave. That's the reality of the group. You have to stay with those who want to fight and progress. When you have so many players who don't make you want to work or progress, it's difficult to get results. That's why I be mean in my words. So maybe he's just down tools because he's seen his Kalam, or maybe, you know, you've since become Kalas. And off topic, people, which is quite sad. RIP Turkish international footballer Ahmet Kalik. Apparently, he's died in a car crash after losing control and tumbling off road while driving to arrange his wedding. Value life, people, because you don't know you can lose it, man. That's fucked up. RIP, my man. Thoughts with his family and that. The wickedest thing is Santi could probably play right now, blood. Good looking out, Omar, for that one, man. I mean, I would love, you know, Frankie de Jong, but boy, I can't see it. I see it. Appreciate you locked in from Antigua. Arsenal are playing a dangerous game in terms of buying. They always try to get a player on the cheap and then it backfires. We need an 8 more than a striker, in my view. We need them both equally, but I think I'm more of the sign with the midfield. It's a bit like when we brought in Partey. I think the club did a really good job of twanging fans. It's, we need a 6. Now we need an 8. And then, it's a 6 or an 8, where really it was both. Have you seen Telemann links? No, I can't say I have, but Telemann and Ward-Prowse are welcome. What have we said here? 20 plus in a league at 20 and 17 halfway through. I don't care if he has pens in there. If he did it without pens, every damn club in the world would be in for him. Why is it? I hear you, Razan. I'm with you, but it's like, why are man discrediting man for scoring pens? Obviously, expected goals, penalties, it paints a story. But just in the topic of penalties, why are man getting onto man for scoring pens? Like, what's going on? Like, especially at Arsenal, because our pen takers have been shit. Like, what's going on? Point is that he has potential to produce that without penalties. He's built like a beast at 21. Think about how good the guy will be at 25. He'll only get better, and he's already good enough. Come on. Xhaka's definitely not terrible, but he's not going to help us. Like, we got to be cruel to be kind. A lot of these players are not bad. They're good guys, but they're not going to help us. And I feel Arsenal fans, they cry about mediocrity. 5 good games from Callum Chambers. They were ready to say he's the right back. They're ready to say Marie's the best at this club. They're ready to say Tavares is this. They're ready to say this and that. Really, it's dead. Football.London. 1 sec. Is this 30? Football.London not looking 30. Kaya Jarutkin is trying to broker a deal for Arsenal to loan Bruno Guimaraes with an obligation to buy, but someone steal my girl. What girl? You can't steal. If anyone could steal any girl that I'm romantically dealt with, then they've done me a favor. But definitely not. What do you mean? I'm in a good mood. It's just passion. Like if I'm not going, hi people, deluded. Like there's something wrong. I'm cool, man. It's just passionate, man. I'm cool, man. I'm a bit hungry though. I guess you're not yourself when you're hungry. DG, would you rather have Guimaraes or De Jong including their transfer fees? I mean, if we could do it, De Jong, innit? 150 million is half a small club's GDP. The money in football is disgusting. I mean, the total cost would be 150 million. I don't know why we're not going for Renato Sanchez. I have to believe he's not that high up on anyone's list at Arsenal to bring people in. He might be someone that's considered, that's like that. There's a reality they might go for him, but he doesn't appear someone that they want to move for really and truly, or someone that, you know, it's a bit like Jonathan David. I think there's an interest in him. We like him, but there's clearly something that's stopping us. It's a bit like Arfamelo. We're offered, but we haven't responded. So that tells me that we might be for these players, but we've got something else that we're trying to line up. We're trying to line up that we haven't actually done yet. And if these things don't work, then maybe we go down that route, innit? 2 foot back in a friend. Ooh. Listen, something might have happened, and I might have just ran to back it, innit? Simple as that. Let's be 100% honest. Vlahovic is Nicolas Pepe 2.0. Half his goals are pen, and the man is out here wanting 300k a week. He doesn't want 300k a week. Did you read about Eddie on the Times? I mean, we spoke about Eddie and if there's something else that's happened, then I don't know. What do you think of Akinola? Solid midfielder, puts a foot in. Don't think he has a future at Arsenal, but considering he's a different profile, he's more of a profile of a number 6. He might get opportunities if worse comes to worse. But yeah, man. I'm not here for the Vlahovic will get better. Just to stop you there, if you're not here for him to get better, then any player then that's not making sense, because we're not going to sign someone finished product, and you'd want him to improve now at 21. I've seen Alexander Pato, Cassano, their man's careers, you know, Cassano loved the party, and as did Patino. That's why their man's things didn't work. And others with bigger potential that never fulfilled it. It's never a guarantee, however, he's promising. Exactly. Even if Vlahovic scores half of what he did for Fiorentina for us, it's better than what we have. Bro, our top goal scoring striker has 3 goals, you know. As much as I like Smith Rowe, Saka, all these guys scoring, they're young. Is it sustainable? They're developing to get in there. I mean, we do perform with Xhaka, but we've had big wins with and without him since Arteta's come in. I like Renato Sanchez, but he's injury prone. Being available for games is just as important as quality. Trust, and more trust. DG, what do you mean he doesn't want 300 a week? Are the reports misleading? We read it. Like, I'll just implore. I'm not going to go over the same things respectfully. Type in his name and read the Daily Mail. DG, if you were Arsenal manager, tell us who would be your starting 11 realistically. I don't know. I do know Karim Adeyemi, Darwin Núñez would probably be here, and Bruno Guimaraes or Aouar. But through the players that are here already, the back 5 would stay the same. Probably the 2 in midfield in Xhaka and Partey stay the same. Smith Rowe in the 10 / out wide. Probably stay the same, really and truly. There's not too much different. He's had injuries and whatnot, Josh De Silva. Recall Matt Smith. I mean, he's techie, but his future probably lies away from the club. Crystal Palace are in talks to sign Eddie Nketiah, who is out of contract at the end of the season. Palace's offer of 12 million was rejected last summer. Arsenal want closer to 20. Well, Arsenal are going to have to deal with whatever thrown at their table right now, or he's leaving, isn't it? Like, Mikel Arteta is still trying to convince him to stay. Maybe he's successful in that regards, but personally, I think it's time we just bite the bullet, sell a man, and that's it, innit? I don't know who had Yemi's link with, predominantly Dortmund, I saw. Easy. If you were given the chance between Vlahovic signing and Wijnaldum on loan, or Ollie Watkins and Bruno Guimaraes, who would you take? Good question. I mean, I want to say Vlahovic. But then, yeah, no, fuck that. Vlahovic, I'll take Wijnaldum on loan and then buy someone else. Yeah, fuck that. The first option. Kaya Jarupkin is ready to broker a deal between Arsenal and Bruno Guimaraes. The North London side looking to battle Juventus for his signature. Lyon are looking for a loan of 45 million quid, which equates to 37.5 people. So let's get that done. Nketiah in Palace in CPS talks / Guimaraes. I think I've spelled this name more times than my actual name this whole day. Guimaraes. Would you take Guendouzi back? Yeah, but it's gone now, isn't it? Like, the man, they are just beefing the gaffer now. Like, it's done. Like, Nico Yanaris does Twitch. Right, big up to him. Crazy. I'd play Pepe and Martinelli as a front two, but I'm mad. I'm not really here. I know a lot of people talk about Pepe and this false 9 thing. I'm not really here for it, man. I can't lie to you. Martinelli, though. Watkins is a part of Legs FC. It is what it is. But I can't lie, people. On that note, it's getting to lunchtime, man. My belly's starting to growl. That's my cue to come out of here. But before we get out of here, make sure you're hitting the like button. As usual, the good times are not done. Tomorrow, we will be here to speak about Arsenal, but I want to watch the Spurs and Chelsea second leg of the semi-finals. Bit of scouting to watch Spurs because we got them at the weekend and just watching it in general. So make sure you lot are there to take that one in. I'm back online on Twitch at 4:30. It's FM settings, people, you know. And obviously, after winning the Champions League, I want the Premier League title, man. In my opinion. Boy, last question. Who's your favorite for the AFCON? I mean, it could only be Algeria, Senegal. They look like the teams. I think Morocco might surprise a few. But hopefully someone in an Arsenal shirt, man. Someone in an Arsenal shirt could do it, could do a thing. If not, then it is what it is, really, really and truly. But yeah, man, it's been fantastic throughout this video. Obviously, we've spoken about the transfers. We've offered some other comments. So yeah, man, let's hope. Tomorrow we're not going to wake up and Arsenal have signed anyone. But let's hope that we can finally confirm a signing, whether that be Guimaraes, whether that will be Vlahovic, whether that will be Joe Bloggs. I don't know, man. But on that note, though, I'm going to get out of here. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, move that much closer to your goals, dreams, hopes, aspirations, and ambitions. And we'll meet up again soon, man.
There's always that active red light, defenders. I think it's like